These are breaking inputs coming in. The CCTV visuals there from the bridge from where the Cafe Coffee Day CEO's car was last seen. This is CCTV footage here, which has been accessed by the Times network here. He has been missing since Monday evening, since last evening. This is the CCTV footage which shows that the CCD founder VG Siddhartha near the Mangaluru toll bridge. This is the footage from the toll bridge here, the CCTV footage which was recorded on Monday at about 5:27 p.m. in the evening. So this is the images that have been found from last evening. This is just shortly before he disappeared. So this is his car from the toll bridge there moving in. The last images here of this car that has now been captured on the CCTV, which is on the Mangaluru toll bridge. Let's get in further inputs. We have with us our correspondent Neha with those details here. Neha, this is part of police investigation here. This is CCTV footage which is now further going to be scrutinized in what could be the last image of the vehicle of the CCD, the Cafe Coffee Day owner's vehicle from last evening.
But absolutely, that's right. In fact, the CCTV footage that's just emerged right now as part of the investigation, which goes on to show that his car was, of course, at a toll gate. Those are the visuals that we are bringing you. But we'll need to wait and see what more the investigation reveals, because at this point of time, what we do know is that the cops have intensified their investigation. They are going to be questioning all the people that have been mentioned in the letter as well, and those are probably the last visuals that one saw of the car, I believe. So also imperative to remember that the driver's statement over here had very clearly gone on to say that Siddharth had asked the driver to move ahead while he said that he would get off and he preferred to walk. So what really happened, that is something, the in-between time, what really happened, that is something that we have to keep our eyes out for. But for now, we also have the Coast Guard team have been pressed into action at the search location at, of course, the spot where he was last spotted. There was also a reaction that came in from a fisherman who said that he did see someone jumping into the river. So we'll have to see if these two are connected or not.
That's right. Around what time is that eyewitness account of the fisherman that you're mentioning that he did see someone jumping into the river? Because the footage here is from 5:27 p.m. last evening. Are we looking at these images being just shortly before what could have been an incident of the CCD owner jumping off?
Well, most possibly it could be, considering that in the bite, of course, this fisherman has said that it was around 7 p.m. that he saw someone jumping into the river. So possibly now this was maybe an hour and a half before that, but it's a little premature for us to join the dots here. We'll have to wait for an official confirmation from the cops on what really happened and whether this was, of course, the same person that jumped in.
Stay on with us, Neha, because these are investigations that are still on. Remember, search operations of this that have been on all through the morning, which was, of course, specifically starting from the bridge right at that point and further widening the area of the search operations. The police having recorded the statement of VG Siddharth's driver as well. And he's believed to be the last person to have seen him before his disappearance. And the driver has made it very clear that he was asked to go to Mangaluru, and this was a last-minute plan. He was then asked to park the car near the Netravati river, but Vijay Siddharth then never returned. The massive search operation now that continues. Our correspondent Neha has been getting us further details here of those search operations. Neha, please go ahead.
Right. So what I was telling you a little while earlier, of course, was that Coast Guard teams have been pressed into action, Home Guard teams have been pressed into action. You have the coastal police. You also have the local police that has been investigating the matter right from, of course, last night. Also important to remember that Home Minister U.T. Khadar was also present at the spot. He was overseeing the search operations himself. We're also now given to understand that you have some choppers that have been kept on standby as well in the likelihood that their necessity is required. So this comes, of course, also, as the BJP MP Shubha Karandaji had written to, of course, the Home Minister Amit Shah, she had requested for their help in identifying, of course, and trying to locate the whereabouts of Siddharth. So keeping all of this in mind, at this point of time, of course, a lot of teams that have been deployed at the spot where Siddharth was last seen, but we'll have to wait and see what research operations really yield at this point.
Also, the contents of the letter now further being scrutinized here. This was a letter that he'd written to his board members of the kind of harassment. In that letter, he says that he's blamed a private equity partner, lenders, and an unnamed former DG of the income tax, blaming all of them of harassment. In that letter, he says that his family is not aware of his financial troubles. Neha, given the fact that earlier, we had seen raids that were conducted on his companies, following which this nature of financial stress that continues. But he also makes it very clear that the family has been unaware of this, and he's unhappy that he couldn't set an example of a successful businessman.
Well, that's right. Just to look at the letter, and you clearly get a sense of disappointment from the letter, where he feels that he's let down his family, that he's let down his, of course, businessmen as well. So, keeping this in mind, it is, of course, imperative to remember that, yes, a couple of outlets of the Cafe Coffee Day in Bengaluru also were raided a couple of years back. So, with all of this, also what's important is that Minister D.K. Shivkumar had, in fact, also spoken to us, where he's clearly gone on to say that, he does smell something fishy, that there is something fishy, that Siddhartha is a brave man who wouldn't ideally do something like this on his own. And he ruled out any possibility of suicide, but that was, of course, just initially. Possibly now, more investigation would reveal what really went wrong, or if at all, of course, he is still alive, and where is he, his whereabouts. All of this is something that we really have to wait for an official confirmation from the police at this point.
That's right. Neha, stay on with us. Some reactions.